my boss gave me a huge raise out of nowhere. Confused, I asked why. He smirked and said, "Consider it a gift for staying loyal." Later that night, I checked my email and found a drafted message from him to his wife. "I need to tell you the truth about me and my name." My heart dropped. I had never touched him. But now, his wife thought otherwise. The next day, I walked into the office and said, "We need to talk, now. This happened just a few months ago. I'm still dealing with the aftermath, but I needed to put it out there because I can't believe how fast everything spiraled." For context, I'm a 38-year-old woman working as an executive assistant at a well-known mid-sized marketing firm based in Dallas, Texas. I'd been with the company for over 5 years, and before all this, I'd never had a single problem. I kept to myself. Did my job. Stayed out of drama. Never even had a whisper of gossip attached to my name. My boss, let's call him Mr. Reynolds, was the CEO. Early 50s, clean-cut, smart, charismatic in the way a lot of higher-up execs are. But he was never overly friendly with me. Just professional. Or so I thought. It was a regular Monday morning when Mr. Reynolds called me into his office. Nothing out of the ordinary. I figured it was about scheduling or maybe a client issue. But instead, he handed me a sealed envelope. Inside was a letter informing me that I was getting a $15,000 raise, effective immediately. Now, let me be clear. I hadn't requested a raise. There hadn't been any recent performance reviews. There wasn't even a major project I'd led. So I looked at him, confused, and said, "This is really generous. Can I ask what it's for?" He gave me this smirk. Not friendly. Not creepy. Just weird. The kind that makes you feel like you're missing something. And then he said, "Consider it a gift for staying loyal." That phrase stuck in my head. Not hardworking or dependable or excellent performance. Just loyal. I walked out of that office with a strange feeling in my chest. Something wasn't sitting right, but I couldn't put my finger on it. That night, I logged into my work email at home to send out some last-minute calendar invites. I have access to Mr. Reynolds' shared scheduling folder, since I manage most of his meetings. As I was organizing files, I noticed something odd. There was a drafted email, unsent, but titled in a way that stopped me cold. The subject read, "I need to tell you the truth about me and my name." I stared at it for a full minute before clicking it open. It was a message addressed to his wife. In the body of the email, he wrote that he and I had been secretly involved for the past few months. He said we'd fallen for each other but had kept it quiet because of the power dynamic. He claimed that things were serious and that he was planning on leaving her. I read the email over and over, my hands shaking. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. There was not a single word of truth in that email. I have never had anything to do with that man beyond work. No flirty texts. No late-night meetings. No long stares. Nothing. I don't even know his favorite color. I barely know the guy. And here he was, painting me as the other woman in a message to his wife. I couldn't sleep that night. My stomach was in knots. I kept thinking, why? What was he doing? What did he hope to get out of this? The next morning, I got to the office early and waited. I didn't even try to pretend everything was normal. As soon as he got in, I walked straight into his office and closed the door. "We need to talk, now," I said. He looked up from his laptop like nothing was wrong. "About what?" "You know what. I saw the drafted email to your wife." His face changed. Just slightly. But enough. He leaned back in his chair and let out a sigh. "I figured you'd see it." "What the hell is going on?" I asked. "Why would you write something like that?" And then he said the most insane thing. "I was going to send it. I've developed feelings for you. I thought you might feel the same. I thought it'd be easier if I came clean to her first." I was stunned. I think I actually laughed, out of shock more than anything. There is nothing going on between us, I said. You made all that up. You created a fake affair in your head and tried to make it real. He didn't even deny it. He just looked at me and said, maybe it was time for a change. For both of us. I walked out. Shaking. Angry. Scared. Because if he could make that up, what else was he capable of? By that afternoon, things had already shifted in the office. People were giving me looks. I could feel whispers when I passed. By the next day, 2 colleagues, who I used to be close to, wouldn't even meet my eyes. Someone had said something. I knew what was happening. He was already spreading the story. And the worst part? He had power. He was respected. People believed him. Even if they didn't say it to my face, I could tell. People thought I was sleeping my way up. I went straight to HR and told them everything. Showed them the email draft. Explained every detail. They promised an investigation. But I could tell, they weren't sure if they believed me either. Right now, I'm still working there. Still showing up. HR is reviewing the situation, whatever that means. I've already had a consultation with a lawyer and started documenting everything. And I haven't even told you the worst part yet. Yesterday, I got an anonymous email to my personal account. No subject. No body. Just a screenshot of a message between Mr. Reynolds and his wife. She'd responded to his draft. Apparently, he had sent it after all. Her reply? Tell her to stay away from my husband. Or I will. This isn't just about work anymore. It's about my safety. My name. My life. And it all started because a man I barely knew decided I was part of some fantasy he built in his head. After the draft email and the weird confrontation, I figured the worst he could do was spread rumors. But Mr. Reynolds is a smart man. A powerful one too. He didn't just make up an affair, he was laying down evidence. Fake evidence. 3 days after my HR complaint, I was called in for a second meeting. This time with 2 people from the legal department. They said Mr. Reynolds had provided them with evidence of an inappropriate relationship. Photos. Phone logs. Screenshots of messages. When they showed them to me, my blood ran cold. The photos were real, taken from public company events or team outings. One was of me laughing near him at the company Christmas party. Another was from a group dinner, where I happened to be seated next to him. But there was nothing romantic in them. Still, cropped right, they looked suggestive. The phone logs? He'd forwarded fake call records showing long after-hours calls between us. I have never spoken to him outside of work. I asked them to cross-check the numbers and timestamps. They said they would. The messages were the worst. Screenshots of fake texts, from me, to him. They were disgusting. Talking about missing him, asking, when can I see you again? I swear on my life I never sent them. And here's the twist, they were from a number that looked like mine. Almost identical. But off by 1 digit. Someone had created a burner number. I think he was texting himself and then forwarding it as evidence. When I pointed this out, HR said they'd escalated to IT and legal for a digital audit. But I could see the doubt in their eyes. These people were trained to be neutral, but in their minds, the CEO had a paper trail, and I had just my word. Word spread fast. I went from being quiet but reliable to the girl who slept with the boss. No one said it to my face, of course. But the looks? The silence when I entered the break room? The fact that I wasn't invited to a team lunch I normally planned? It was happening. I even heard one coworker whisper to another, I mean, how else do you get a raise like that out of nowhere? It didn't matter that I'd worked late nights, weekends, holidays. That I had earned everything through 5 years of grinding. None of it mattered now. I wasn't ready for this. One Friday afternoon, around 4 p.m., I was at my desk when security called up. "There's a woman here asking for you. Says she's Mrs. Reynolds." I froze. They asked if they should send her up. I didn't even get the chance to say no. She walked into the office 10 minutes later. She was calm, well-dressed, and terrifying. She stood in front of my desk and looked me dead in the eye. "I know who you are," she said. "I know what you are." I stood up, heart racing. "Ma'am, I think there's been a mistake." "Oh, don't insult me," she snapped. "You think I don't know when my husband's been lying?" I read the texts. I saw the photos. "You should be ashamed of yourself." I didn't even know what to say. My mind was spinning. I looked around for someone, anyone, from management. But no one stepped in. She left after 5 minutes of accusing me of things I didn't do. 5 minutes that felt like hours. And not once did Mr. Reynolds show his face. Not once. I came into work yesterday morning and my keycard didn't work. Security had to let me in. HR called me 10 minutes later. "Effective immediately, you are being placed on paid leave," they said. "Pending investigation." I asked why. They said there were new developments. When I pushed, they said they couldn't disclose them, but confirmed it came directly from Mr. Reynolds and the legal team. So now I'm suspended. With no explanation. No warning. No chance to defend myself. I've lost my routine, my work, and half the people I thought were friends. And I still don't understand why. Why me? Why go this far? What does he gain from destroying me? I'm staying quiet for now on advice from my lawyer. We're building a case. We're documenting everything. But I feel like I'm walking on a wire stretched across a canyon. One wrong move and I fall. I don't know what's next. I don't know how deep this man is willing to go. But I'm not giving up. I didn't do what he said I did. And I will not let him rewrite my story. More soon. I didn't expect to be posting again so soon, but new things are happening, and I'm starting to see that this isn't just about Mr. Reynolds anymore. There's someone else involved. And I think I know who it is. 2 nights ago, I got a text from a number I didn't recognize. No name. Just a message: "You should be careful who you trust. He's not working alone." At first, I thought it was a prank. But something about the timing, and the wording, made my stomach twist. I wrote back, "Who is this?" No response. I tried calling. Straight to voicemail. The message came at 1:42 a.m. Who sends something like that in the middle of the night unless it's important? My first thought? Maybe his wife. But it didn't feel like her. It wasn't angry or emotional. It felt calculated. This part hurts to admit. A few weeks before the raise, I noticed something odd. One of the newer employees, let's call her Tessa, started hanging around Mr. Reynolds more. She's in sales, young, maybe mid-20s, very ambitious, always made sure to be seen. At the time, I didn't think much of it. She was friendly. Asked a lot of questions. Sometimes about work, sometimes about me. Like, "Do you ever work alone with Mr. Reynolds?" Or, "How well do you know him outside the office?" I brushed it off as office gossip. But now? It feels different. Because after I was placed on leave, guess who got access to my office calendar and email? Tessa. She posted about it on her Instagram stories. Something like, "Big day. Leveling up laptop computer linked paperclips," and she tagged the company location. Yesterday morning, a small package arrived at my apartment. No return address. Inside, a USB drive. There was a note, typed, no handwriting, "Don't ask who. Just watch this before it disappears." I ran a virus check before opening the drive. I'm paranoid now, and then I played the video inside. It was security footage. From inside the office. I know that building. I know those hallways. The video showed Tessa in the executive wing, after hours. She's at my desk. Plugging in a flash drive. Opening folders. Screenshots popping up. She's wearing gloves. Her hair's tied up like she was trying not to leave traces. And in the next clip? She walks into Mr. Reynolds' office. He's already there. He smiles at her. Like they were expecting each other. Then she hands him something. It was dated 2 days before the fake email to his wife appeared. I don't know who sent me that video. I'm guessing someone in IT who still has a conscience. Someone who saw what was happening and wanted to help me without exposing themselves. But it confirms what I suspected, this was planned. This wasn't a sudden crush or emotional decision. It was coordinated. There's a strategy here. A goal. Mr. Reynolds wasn't just trying to get with me. He was trying to destroy me. And Tessa is helping him. Why? I don't know yet. Maybe he promised her my job. Maybe he's feeding her the same lies. Maybe she just wants power and saw an opportunity. But whatever it is, they are covering each other. And I'm the one paying for it. I showed the video to my attorney this morning. He's been mostly calm and composed through all of this, but his jaw actually dropped. This is gold, he said. But we can't use it unless we can verify the source. So now we're trying to trace it back. Carefully. Quietly. If we go too fast, we could scare off the person helping me. If we go too slow, I could lose everything. Yeah. You read that right. Today, I got an email from my own address. Sent to my personal Gmail. The subject, don't be a hero. The body, blank. It was sent through some kind of spoofing server. My lawyer's tech guy is analyzing it now. But it's clear, they know I'm pushing back. And now they're trying to scare me into silence. They want me to stay quiet. They want me to vanish. But I'm not going anywhere. They picked the wrong person to lie about. I didn't fight my way through years of nonsense in corporate America to get knocked out by a man with power issues and a wannabe sidekick. This isn't over. And something tells me it's going to get darker before the truth comes out. More soon. If you've read my last 2 posts, you know this entire situation has been spiraling. It started with a fake affair created by my boss, Mr. Reynolds, and quickly turned into a full-blown nightmare involving false evidence, office rumors, betrayal, and an unknown person helping him from the inside, Tessa. But now it's over. And not because I won, exactly. Not because justice was swift or clean. It ended because everything exploded in front of the wrong people at the worst possible time. Let me walk you through what happened. Once we had the security footage, my lawyer sent a quiet letter to the company's legal team. It was worded very carefully, not an accusation, not yet a lawsuit. Just a reminder that falsifying evidence, fabricating digital records, and workplace retaliation are very serious offenses. Within a week, I got a call. I was being invited back for a mediation session. HR, legal, and Mr. Reynolds would be present. I agreed. But what I didn't expect. The company had scheduled an all-hands quarterly meeting on the same day. Every department head, every manager, every senior employee, everyone was in that building. The mediation was cold. Professional. Tense. Mr. Reynolds sat across from me like he hadn't destroyed my life over a made-up fantasy. Tessa wasn't there. Legal and HR tried to dance around the issue, asking things like, is there a chance of misinterpretation, and could this be a personal matter that got out of hand? My lawyer stayed calm. Then, he slid a copy of the USB video across the table. Nobody spoke for a full minute. Then legal asked, where did this footage come from? He smiled. Let's just say it's from an internal ally. You've got bigger problems if your security system has holes like this. Things escalated fast. Suddenly, Mr. Reynolds wasn't calm anymore. His voice rose. This is ridiculous. She's framing me, she's obsessed. I was trying to help her. That raise was out of pity. That was the moment I stood up. You made up an affair, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. You wrote a love letter to your wife about us, when we never even had a single conversation outside of work. You used photos and fake texts. You let people believe I was sleeping my way up. And now you're calling me obsessed? I didn't expect what came next. The conference room door opened, accidentally, or maybe someone left it cracked, and in walked his wife. Followed by 3 senior department heads and a few staff members from the all-hands meeting down the hall. They'd heard everything. One of them whispered, "That's her?" "That's the girl," he said. Another, "Oh my God," he lied. The room broke. Mr. Reynolds's wife stepped in front of me, dead silent. She looked at me. Then at him. "You said she chased you," she said to him, quietly. He stammered. There's been a misunderstanding." "No," she said. "There's not." She turned, looked around at the crowd, and then looked back at me. "I'm sorry," she said, tears brimming. I believed him. I was wrong. She walked out. No drama. Just gone. Mr. Reynolds was asked to leave the building immediately. Tessa? She was escorted out an hour later. She tried to deny it, claimed the footage was deep-faked, but nobody believed her. The IT guy, bless him, came forward anonymously confirming timestamps and access logs. I was reinstated. Official apology. Compensation package. Quiet settlement behind closed doors. No lawsuit needed. But the damage was already done. I didn't want the job anymore. Even with the truth out, people would always remember. That kind of rumor doesn't die overnight. You'd think I'd say me. And yeah, I lost a lot. I lost my job, eventually quit. I lost my sense of safety in a space where I had built my entire career. But you know who was hurt the most? His wife. She didn't just lose her marriage. She lost her image of who her husband was. The man she defended. The man she fought me for. That kind of betrayal goes deeper than lies, it cuts into your identity. I don't think she'll ever be the same. And Tessa? She wanted power, shortcuts, clout. She got none of it. I've started working at a new place, smaller firm, different city. I moved to Austin. Needed the space. Needed a new beginning. I still flinch when my boss emails me after hours. I still panic when someone calls me loyal like it's a loaded word. But I'm healing. Slowly. This whole thing taught me that trust, once broken, doesn't just hurt. It scars. But it also taught me how strong I am. How smart I can be when backed into a corner. How loud I can be when someone tries to erase me. Some people fight for their jobs. Some people fight for their dignity. I had to fight for my name. And I'll never let anyone take it from me again.